Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jettix, and welcome back to review and recap for Dragon Ball Super Episode 103. This time we pick back up where we left off last week with Brienne facing off against Android 17. She's of course pissed off because 17 eliminated Kakunsa, the blue Power Princess Change Girl, and while he's fighting her, Goku's facing off with Rosie, and she's the yellow one, which is the only other one left because there were three in total. So he's fighting off with Rosie, and she starts shooting her ki blast at him, and this time she does almost like Piccolo's Hellzone Grenade, where she shoots all these ki balls around Goku, and all of a sudden they come in to attack him all at once. Goku seemed kind of on his heels because not only was she doing attacks at light speed, which shouldn't really be a big problem, it seems like he wasn't taking this too serious, and by the time he was, she had him on the ropes. Now, without transforming, of course, if he went to blue or transform to Super Saiyan, he'd be able to, take her out pretty quick. But of course, at this point in the match, our fighters are trying to conserve as much stamina and energy as possible. So of course, Goku's trying not to transform if he doesn't have to. So he's bracing for these attacks, and Android 17 pops in just in time and erects that green sphere, that protected barrier, and it protects him. And then Brienne comes in out of nowhere and hits the barrier and shatters it, actually. And as soon as that shatters, Goku jumps forward and starts fighting Rosie again. And 17 turns around and starts facing off with Brienne. Now, the animation on these fights are top-notch. I'm loving the animation on these episodes lately. It's so enjoyable to watch. It's so fluid. And there's a few odd angles here and there throughout the episode, but for the most part, with as much action that's going on, I can't complain at all. So they go facing off again, like last time. Goku, he actually decks Rosie pretty hard because he starts using the instantaneous movement, the instant transmission. He pops it behind her and basically catches her off guard and does this massive ki blast and knocks her on her ass, and she's all beat up and she's not looking good. At the same time, Android 17, he starts knocking on Brienne, and they're basically face to face, all four fighters. Goku and 17 stand next to each other, while Brienne and Rosie, they're looking pretty beat up. And, even 17 does a little jab at him, saying, you guys might as well just save us the hassle and just give up. Drop out yourself. And, everything started to look pretty bad for the fighters. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Yard Rat from Universe 2, he pops in and is noted by the Kai of Universe 2, which these Brienne's from. He tells the God of Destruction not to worry because because he keep calling them Maidens of Love, Maidens of Power. That's what Brienne and Kakunsa and Rosie are. And he says every maiden has a knight. And just as he says that, the Yard Rat from Universe 2 actually pops in, and he's like, all right, ladies, it's time to fall back and regroup. Let's retreat for now. And just like that, he teleports them away. Now, instead of pursuing these three, Goku kind of says, oh, well, I guess that's that. And then the running joke of this episode that while Goku was involved in was everybody telling him to stop dropping his guard, because that's one of Goku's worst features. He always drops his guard when he shouldn't. And every time he does, he gets into a pickle, gets into a pinch, and it seems like everybody notices except Goku. He keeps saying, yeah, I know I'm not going to, but he keeps doing it. So we'll see if that comes back later, because I feel like it might be some foreshadowing to where Goku's not actually going to win this tournament. Him and Jiren might eliminate each other, and it might come down to Gohan or somebody else we don't expect to win the whole tournament. I think it'd be pretty neat to have someone else besides Goku win this. Maybe not even Vegeta, because I love Vegeta, but even if Vegeta doesn't win it and somebody else does, it would be a nice change of pace. Moving on, that's basically all that happens with Android 17 and Goku. They kind of say, all right, take care, be careful, and they leave on their own. Now, the rest of this episode is going to focus on Gohan. Gohan really stepped up on this episode. It was pretty fun to watch. First, Gohan and Piccolo, they're together, and all of a sudden they're walking, and they come face to face with Botamo. Now, Botamo is from Universe 6. He was the guy from the last tournament between Universe 6 and Universe 7, where all attacks and ki blast physical attacks, his body, mitigates all the damage to another dimension, is how they say it. And not a whole lot's gone into detail as to what that means. But needless to say, even Champa says, Botamo, he has unlimited stamina and he can't be hurt. Now, this whole unlimited stamina, this is kind of a new thing because they didn't mention this before, but the whole he can't be hurt, that's not new. So Gohan squares off with Botamo. He goes, don't worry, Piccolo, I got this. And Piccolo's like, okay, go for it. So Gohan jumps forward and he starts waylaying, doing haymakers into Botamo's gut. Now, of course, most of us seeing this, if you've already seen the episode, kind of almost rolled our eyes because Gohan is supposed to be the smart fighter. And even Goku comes up, stands next to Piccolo to watch the fight. And he's like, well, I told Gohan what happened when I fought him, so he knows about the whole Botamo not taking damage. But needless to say, Gohan is just laying into Botamo like it's nothing. And it's just ongoing, on and on and on, unlimited hits, just back to back, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And Botamo's just laughing at him. But Gohan is ignoring him. Universe 6 is laughing at him. Champa is. Beerus is getting pissed off because Gohan is looking like an idiot because he keeps hitting the guy that doesn't take any damage from hits. And it's what we're all thinking. But Botamo says, all right, I'm going to start hitting the back now. I'm going to start fighting. And right before he does, all of a sudden, he starts getting lifted up off the ground. Now, I kind of want to scratch my head a little bit because you figured all the kinetic energy from these blows are going elsewhere. But apparently, whether it's kinetic energy or just the momentum or the force of Gohan's consistent blows, it's not hurting Botamo, but he's starting to get lifted off the ground, I guess, from the sheer force. That's the way I see it. And at this point, Gohan is hitting him so often, he's constantly off the ground, so his feet are not touching. So in this instance, Gohan is actually moving forward pretty fast and almost carrying Botamo with his blows all the way to the edge. Beerus is like, all right, good job. And Champa's freaking out, and Botamo doesn't know what to do. He starts doing these mouth blasts, but he can't hit Gohan, probably because Gohan is kind of under him and under his gut. And, fat guy joke, Botamo cannot see down past his gut, so he can't hit Gohan. Gets to the edge, Gohan does a few extra blows and does a big kick, knocks Botamo up in the air, and Gohan actually does a huge Kamehameha as Botamo's in the air. So I guess that kind of helps push him out. And Gohan turns around like the badass cool guys from the late 80s, early 90s movies, because, cool guys never look at explosions. So he turns around, but Botamo's like, I'm going to take you with me. He does his mouth blast at Gohan. And Era's saying, well, Gohan dropped his guard. Here we go. And Gohan, sure enough, he actually did not drop his guard. Turns around, does a key blast to block the shot. And just like that, Botamo is eliminated, and Universe 6 takes their first loss. Or they lose their first member. Botamo pops up on the bench next to Champa. Champa's yelling at him, and Botamo's like, sorry, my bad. And that's Gohan's first victory of the episode. Now, at this point, Goku has moved on. It's just Piccolo there again. And Piccolo and Gohan, they kind of look at each other. Piccolo's like, good job. And they start walking. And then all of a sudden, they are called out by Universe 10. And it's Universe 10's last two fighters. One's like a green, almost like a goblin-looking guy, but he's tall. His name is Obuni, and he actually faces off with Gohan, saying that Gohan is worthy as an adversary. The other guy from Universe 10's name is Rubolt, that's it. And he's, red guy, long black hair, and he's going to face off with Piccolo. Now, these are the last two fighters for Universe 10, and Universe 10 is where Gowasu is from. That's also where Goku Black, and Zamasu, that's where they came from as well. So they start charging up, and Gohan notices that the fight stance that Obuni, the green guy, that he takes shows no weaknesses and no openings. So Gohan's like, okay, this guy's pretty serious. And, thinking this guy's probably the strongest one from that universe, which I believe he is. And Piccolo's facing off with Rubolt. It's almost like it kind of made me chuckle because as soon as they start charging each other, Gohan and Obuni charge at each other, both ready to attack. And then all of a sudden, Rubalt charges Piccolo, and Piccolo takes a massive hit to the face, like just chomping it. He starts getting knocked out. He's getting knocked left and right. So they go back and forth. Piccolo starts to hit back, and then Piccolo does the Hellzone grenade. He starts shooting ki blasts, and Rubalt saying, "Well, this is a desperate move because you're not even hitting me." And just of course, I mean, they use the same attack almost in the same episode of two different fighters, called different things, but Piccolo does the Hellzone grenade. He doesn't call it, but that's definitely Hellzone grenade. And he says, say goodbye. He swings his arms down. All the ki blasts that are surrounding Rubalt come in and hit him really hard. Smoke dissipates. Rubalt is basically, he's hit so hard. He's wide-eyed. He's like, barely breathing. And Piccolo says, well, you know the rules. You got to go. And he knocks Rubalt out. So this leaves Gohan and Obuni fighting one-on-one. Piccolo kind of respects the fight. He stays out of it. And Gohan and Obuni are fighting. But Obuni has this odd technique that is actually pretty interesting. He can actually control his ki and disperse it to where it's hard to track his movement. Now, it's not a huge amount, but it's enough to where if you're in close combat with somebody and you're accustomed to sensing ki to help and assist you fight, it can cause some troubles because he's basically multiplying his inner ki to about 6 different places, so whoever he's fighting, hence Gohan, cannot exactly tell where he is. So they start going back and forth, or at least they're trying to, but Gohan is just getting beat senseless. Because this guy, he has so many copies that Gohan cannot hit he can't find out where he is. So Gohan's taking hits. And he powers up big time. He goes full ultimate. His a huge white aura around him. He doesn't turn white, just the white aura. You guys know what I'm talking about. And Obuni gives him a comment saying, you fight to the end. I respect that. And they start going back and forth again. And Gohan comes up with a plan where he lets Obuni hit him. Not that he has much of a choice, but when he gets hit by Obuni, that's his chance to fight him. So he gets hit, and Gohan's like, okay, I found you. And he hits Obuni back. And this is Gohan's new technique. And Whis, he notices this, and he says, well, this is a good technique, but the only problem is he has to get hit to hit back. So he's waiting for the hit to counter, which is a smart move. There's nothing else you can think of. At least Gohan's thinking of something. But Obuni's hitting him pretty hard. Gohan's hitting back pretty hard. And they're both panting pretty bad. And all of a sudden, they're going back and forth, and Obuni runs out of ki to displace he runs out of stamina to displace his ki. So now Gohan can see straight up where he is, and Gohan starts laying into him. He does one final Kamehameha wave and knocks Obuni out. Now, during the blast, Obuni, part of his attire breaks, like his clothes, and this wrist pendant falls off, and he gets eliminated. And then while the Omni Kings are confirming the final elimination for Universe 10, and the Grand Kai, or Daigo Shinkan, he's confirming that Universe 10 will now be eliminated. Gohan looks down, and that pendant that fell off of Obuni pops open, and it's actually a family portrait. It shows Obuni, his wife, and their child. Now, this was an unexpected kind of pull at the heartstrings because, it shows that each universe, no matter what you think of the fighters or whatever, they're all fighting for something. Some for pride, some for conquest, some to prove they're the best, and some are just straight fighting for their family. And these aren't all bad guys. So Gohan sees the family photo. You can tell he feels really bad about it, but it's them or us. It's that mentality. They have to win, or I'm sure Gohan probably thought of Videl and Pan and all their family, because if he doesn't win, then that's going to happen to him. It was pretty interesting twist. I enjoyed the episode quite a bit. One other thing I wanted to notice is back when Universe 9 was eliminated, and it seemed like the Angel kind of laughed about them being eliminated and the whole universe, going away. That seemed kind of sinister, to where this time, the Angel for Universe 10 with Gowasu, the whole episode, she's like bummed out. She's concerned. She's like, oh no, we lost another fighter. Oh, we're going to lose. Like, she does not want to lose them. She likes her universe. Same way that Whis does, I can tell. And I would think Vados kind of likes hers as well. But Mojito, the angel from the universe that has already been eliminated, he seemed to kind of chuckle. He's like, well, about time. So it's interesting that some angels get along with the universes and some just don't like them. So I'm not sure if this is going to scheme or kind of feed into this plot that some people are imagining, that the Dao Shinkan is trying to eliminate all these universes for a reason, some kind of angel rebellion. But that's speculation. That's nothing confirmed. That's just a thought that's going around the community, which there's enough inklings to maybe suggest that, and it is interesting. But besides that, not a whole lot went down. That is going to be the end of the episode. The highlights for next episode shows Hit and Dispo. Dispo from Universe... Was it Universe 11? The universe with the Pride Troopers. He was one of the Pride Troopers that's remaining. Dispo's facing off with Hit, and it looks like Dispo has some kind of power that sees straight through Hit's Tokidobashi, the time skip, which is bad news for Hit. He's getting rocked, and Goku actually comes to Hit's aid. And not only that, but we have the return of something we've not seen since the first arc of Dragon Ball Super, and that is Super Saiyan God. The red-haired version of Goku when he first went God against Beerus, the red hair and the slimmed-down body is really built for speed, if I'm not mistaken. But we have the return of Super Saiyan God. It's a big fan favorite. I'm not really looking forward to the community's outcry of, oh, Super Saiyan God's more powerful than Blue, or it's more powerful than more. No, it's just another version that has its own use. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I believe it trumps on speed to where Blue has the power. Just on a side note, the Dragon Ball manga, when Vegeta was fighting Merge Zamasu or Zamasu or whatever, he would actually switch between forms. He would use the red Super Saiyan God form for movement, and right before he struck, he would go blue and add the power to the blow. So it would be neat if we saw this. I don't think we're going to see this exactly, but that just kind of gives us some insight as to what red may be used for. Either way, looks great. I can't wait for next week's episode 104. Thanks for joining me on this review and recap for Dragon Ball Super episode 103. If you enjoyed the video, please go and leave a like. Leave a comment down below. What was your favorite part of the episode? What did you not like? And what do you think is going to happen later on with about this whole Daishinkan universes being destroyed? If there's some kind of rebellion coming on, what do you think is going to happen? Try and predict, and let's see if we're right. On top of that, if you guys wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe button and support the channel. Every one of you guys matter. Every one of you guys count, and it means so much to me. So thank you again for all the support. And hope to see you guys next time on Dragon Ball Super review and recap, and also join us during the week for some Let's Plays and other things as well. Thanks for joining me here, and I'll see you next time. Later.